The cow, a gentle creature revered in Hinduism, occupies a paradoxical position in India. While symbolizing life and sustenance, it has also become a lightning rod for religious and social discord. This essay explores the contradictions surrounding the cow in India, where cow dung and urine are deemed sacred, while beef consumption can incite violence. In Hinduism, the cow is considered a sacred animal, a symbol of motherhood, and provider of life-sustaining milk. This reverence is deeply ingrained in the cultural and religious fabric of India. Cow dung and urine hold a unique place in Hindu rituals and traditional practices. Cow dung, known as gobar, is believed to have purifying properties and is used in various ceremonies, from housewarming rituals to religious festivals. It is often mixed with water to create a paste for coating floors and walls, signifying cleanliness and auspiciousness. Cow urine, referred to as Gaumutra, is similarly revered for its purported medicinal and spiritual benefits. It is consumed by some devout Hindus as a form of purification and is believed to cure a range of ailments, from skin diseases to digestive problems. This belief, though lacking scientific evidence, is deeply ingrained in certain sections of society. The use of cow dung and urine extends beyond religious rituals, finding its way into everyday products. Cow dung cakes are commonly used as fuel in rural areas, while cow urine is an ingredient in some traditional medicines and cosmetics. This widespread acceptance and use of cow dung and urine products stand in stark contrast to the fierce opposition to beef consumption, highlighting the complex and often contradictory relationship between religious beliefs, cultural practices, and social norms in India. The reverence for the cow and its byproducts has been increasingly politicized in recent years. Some political leaders have publicly endorsed cow urine as a cure for various illnesses, including cancer and even COVID-19. These endorsements, often made without scientific backing, contribute to the spread of misinformation and can have dangerous consequences. In 2020, for instance, a member of parliament from a prominent Hindu nationalist party organized a Gaumutra party where participants drank cow urine, claiming it would protect them from the coronavirus. This event sparked widespread criticism from medical professionals and public health experts who warned against the dangers of promoting unproven remedies. Such incidents highlight how the veneration of the cow has been exploited for political gain, often at the expense of scientific temper and public health. The use of religious symbolism and beliefs to promote unscientific claims is a worrying trend that needs to be addressed through education and critical thinking. While the cow holds a sacred status for a large section of India's population, beef consumption is a reality for various communities across the country. Muslims, Christians, Dalits, and some Hindu communities, particularly in states like Kerala, Goa, and the Northeast, traditionally consume beef as part of their dietary practices. For these communities, beef is a source of protein and an integral part of their cultural heritage. Their dietary choices are often rooted in centuries-old traditions and are as valid as any other culinary practice. However, the growing intolerance towards beef consumption has created a climate of fear and suspicion, making it increasingly difficult for these communities to exercise their dietary freedom. The Indian state of Kerala, known for its diverse population and rich culinary heritage, has a long-standing tradition of beef consumption, cutting across religious lines. In this state, beef dishes are an integral part of local cuisine enjoyed by Hindus, Muslims, and Christians alike. Despite the prevalence of beef consumption among various communities, the issue remains highly sensitive and often sparks social tensions. The growing climate of intolerance threatens the fabric of India's pluralistic society, making it imperative to address the root causes of this conflict and foster a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Section 5. A climate of fear violence against beef consumers. The rise of cow vigilantism in India has created a climate of fear and insecurity, particularly for marginalized communities who rely on beef as a source of protein or engage in the cattle trade. Fueled by religious extremism and a culture of impunity, these self-proclaimed cow protectors often take the law into their own hands, resorting to violence and intimidation against individuals suspected of consuming, transporting, or trading beef. These attacks, often carried out with brutal force, have resulted in numerous deaths and injuries, leaving a trail of trauma and devastation in their wake. The victims of cow vigilantism are often targeted based on their religious identity or caste, with Muslims and Dalits bearing the brunt of this violence. The perpetrators of these heinous acts often operate with a sense of impunity, believing that their actions are justified in the name of protecting the cow. This dangerous ideology, fueled by misinformation and hatred, has no place in a civilized society. The Indian government has a responsibility to uphold the rule of law and protect its citizens from such acts of violence. Addressing the root causes of cow vigilantism, including religious intolerance and the spread of misinformation, is crucial for ensuring the safety and security of all Indians, regardless of their dietary choices. Section 6. Pelu Khan, a tragic emblem of cow vigilantism. The brutal lynching of Pelu Khan in 2017 stands as a chilling reminder of the deadly consequences of cow vigilantism in India. Khan, a dairy farmer from Haryana, was transporting cows legally purchased from a cattle fair when he was attacked by a mob of self-proclaimed cow protectors. Accused of transporting cows for slaughter, Khan was brutally beaten despite pleading for his life and showing documents proving the legality of his purchase. He succumbed to his injuries 2 days later, leaving behind a grieving family and a nation grappling with the horrors of mob violence. The Pelu Khan lynching sent shockwaves throughout India, sparking outrage and protests against the rising tide of cow vigilantism. The incident exposed the deep-rooted religious intolerance and the culture of impunity that allows such heinous acts to occur. Despite widespread condemnation, the Pelu Khan case is not an isolated incident. Numerous other cases of violence against individuals suspected of consuming or transporting beef have been reported across India, highlighting the urgent need for stricter law enforcement and a zero-tolerance policy towards such acts of violence. Section 7. India's Beef Paradox: Exporting What's Forbidden. The irony of India's relationship with beef is starkly evident in its position as a major beef exporter. While cow slaughter and beef consumption are banned in many states, India remains one of the world's largest exporters of buffalo meat, which is often categorized as beef in international markets. This paradox exposes the economic realities that often contradict the rhetoric surrounding cow protection. The beef industry provides livelihoods for millions of Indians, particularly from marginalized communities, and contributes significantly to the country's foreign exchange earnings. However, this economic reality is often overlooked in the heated debates surrounding cow slaughter and beef consumption. The hypocrisy of condemning beef consumption while profiting from its export raises uncomfortable questions about the motivations behind cow protectionism. It also highlights the need for a nuanced and pragmatic approach to this complex issue, one that balances religious sentiments with economic realities and social harmony. The government's role in regulating the beef industry while addressing concerns related to animal cruelty and food safety is crucial. Striking a balance between protecting religious sentiments and ensuring economic livelihoods requires a sensitive and inclusive approach. Section 8. Unveiling the hypocrisy: cow urine acceptance versus beef hatred. The stark contrast between the widespread acceptance of cow urine products and the fierce condemnation of beef consumption exposes a glaring hypocrisy within Indian society. This double standard, often justified in the name of religion, raises fundamental questions about the selective interpretation of beliefs and their impact on social harmony. While cow urine is consumed for its purported health benefits and used in various products, despite the lack of scientific evidence, beef consumption is demonized and met with violence, even when it is a matter of personal dietary choices and cultural practices. This selective outrage highlights the dangers of using religious beliefs to justify discrimination and violence. The acceptance of cow urine, often marketed as a cure-all despite its unsanitary nature, while condemning beef consumption, a source of protein for many, exposes a deep-seated prejudice within society. This prejudice, often rooted in casteism and religious intolerance, needs to be addressed through education, dialogue, and a conscious effort to promote empathy and understanding. The coexistence of these contradictory attitudes towards cow products highlights the need for a more nuanced and compassionate approach to this sensitive issue. Respecting individual dietary choices while promoting responsible and humane practices within the livestock industry is essential for fostering a just and equitable society. Section 9. A Call for Harmony: Transcending Contradictions and Embracing Compassion. The complex relationship with the cow in India requires empathy, rationality, and social harmony. Faith should not justify hatred or discrimination. Engage in dialogue to promote understanding and respect for diverse beliefs. Educate future generations on tolerance and critical thinking. The government must uphold the rule of law and protect citizens. Recognize our shared humanity to create a society of peace and unity.